Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. We are group 4 from Management 23I with members name I'm Nur Refa Mutiara Z and my two friends are Naya, Zyfa and Zia Hikmawati. Here we will explain about benchmarking. What is benchmarking? Benchmarking is a systematic process used to measure and compare the activities and processes of organization with other organizations recognized as having best practice. Benchmarking is a process of measuring and comparing systematically the activities and processes of an organization compared to other organizations recognized having best practice with the aim of improving the organization on performance and increasing competitive advantage. Okay, the next purpose of benchmarking. First, to enhance competitive advantage through continuous improvement of the organization's own performance. Benchmarking is a strategic tool for organizations to identify their position in the competition, find gaps in existing systems, and set new standards based on best practice from other organizations that have proven successful. And the next tool to gain in-depth insight into the continuous improvement process. This process greatly helps organizations understand how superior organizations work and how best practice can be adapted to their internal context. And the next three, to achieve the best standard of competitive advantage through external learning system. Benchmarking does not only focus on quantitative assessment, it also drives improvements in service quality, customer satisfaction, and strategic competitiveness. In fact, in a broader context, benchmarking is used to drive innovation and continuous improvement so that organizations do not get left behind in a dynamic and competitive business environment. And the next four, to improve and enhance the quality of the organization performance by covering itself to standard or other better organization. Next five, to identify best practice from other organizations that can be used for the improvement of the organization itself. This process helps organizations understand where they say in the industry and how improvement strategies can be implemented realistically and purposefully. And the next six is a managerial and strategic tool in decision making, which ultimately aim to enhance the organization competitiveness and efficiency. Okay, and the next last seven, to help build an organization culture that is open to change and external learning. Organizations that routinely benchmark will have greater flexibility in adopting new trends, technology, and modern work systems, which have a direct impact on improving the quality of products, service, and customer satisfaction. Okay, for the next material, it will be presented by Naya.
Hi, I'm Naya. So I'll explain about types of benchmarking. First one, there's internal benchmarking. This type involves comparing different units, division, or departments within the same organization. The goal is to identify best practices internally and apply them across the organization. For example, the marketing division in Bandung has a more effective social media strategy than the Jakarta branch. That strategy is then adopted by all branches. Second one, there's competitive benchmarking. This type compares an organization performance with direct competitors in the same industry. It helps assess competitive positioning and areas for improvement. For instance, a delivery company like GNT compares its average delivery time with competitors like Si Cepat to enhance its service speed. Third, there's functional benchmarking. Here, the comparison is made between similar function across different industries. The focus is on the process itself, not the industry. For example, a pharmaceutical company compares its warehouse management system with IKEA's to optimize storage and product distribution. Fourth, there's generic benchmarking. This type looks at general work practices or processes that are applicable across industries. It often focuses on management principles or work efficiency. For example, a financial firm applies lean management principles from the automotive industry to eliminate non-value adding process. And the last, there's a global and strategic benchmarking. This involves comparing strategies or processes within a global organization or focusing on long-term strategic planning. For example, a tech startup in Indonesia studies long-term growth strategies of companies like Alibaba and Meta to build its 5 years business roadmap. So the next slides will talk about the benefits of benchmarking. The first one, there's identifying weaknesses and opportunities for improvement. Benchmarking helps organizations discover hidden flaws and areas for improvement. For instance, a restaurant finds its service times lower than the industry standards, prompting them to adopt a digital ordering system. Second one, there's improving efficiency, quality, and process effectiveness. By adopting best practices from the others, companies can operate faster, reduce errors, and improve outcomes. For example, a food factory uses quality control system from the electronic industry to reduce defective products. And third, there's driving innovation and learning from the best practices. Benchmarking exposes organizations to prove effective methods, encouraging activity and openness to change. For example, a fintech company develops an automatic chatbot system after learning it from the customer service innovations in the airline industry. Fourth, setting realistic and strategic performance standards. With clear benchmarks, organizations can create achievable and industry aligned targets. For example, an online retail store sets a 70% customer retention goal after seeing it as the industry average. And last, supporting data driven decisions making. Benchmarking provides solid data to support critical businesses decision, moving away from the assumption. For instance, a company decides to expand its online sales channels after benchmarking data shows competitors increase sales through e-commerce. So, thank you. That's all from me. And the next slide will be explained by Zia.
Okay, and next, I will explain about benchmarking analysis about challenges faced by organizations in the benchmarking process. For number one, their lack of internal red lines. Many organizations lack a mature management system to implement benchmarking. Some of organizations are not mentally and structurally prepared to conduct benchmarking. They tend to feel that these processes threatens their existence or current way of working. They are not ready in terms of organizational structure that supports benchmarking, a work culture that is open to change, and human resources that understand benchmarking techniques. Okay, for number two, difficulty in accessing data from other organizations. One of the biggest obstacles in the difficulty in obtaining comparative data due to other organizations may not be willing to share sensitive information. Lack of standards in performance reporting makes comparison difficult. And for last, concern about business confidentiality. For number three, incorrect benchmarking partner selection. The benchmarking process can fail if an organization chooses an irrelevant or different sector benchmarking partner, does not understand the process advantage of the chosen partner, and focuses only on the end results, not the underlying processes. For number four, overemphasis on imitation, not innovation. Some organizations only imitate best practices without adjusting them to their internal context. This leads to incompatibility of strategy with organizational structure, implementation failure due to lack of adjustment to their own needs. For number five, limited resources. Implementing benchmarking requires time, effort, and cost. Obstacles arise when there is no special budget allocation for benchmarking, limited human resources, or lack of competence. For number six, challenges in implementing benchmarking results. Although data and best practices have been obtained, implementation often fails due to lack of commitment from organizational leadership, no good evaluation and follow-up system, and employee resistance to change. For number seven, lack of management support. The benchmarking processes requires full support from top management. Without commitment and encouragement from leadership, benchmarking is difficult to implement effectively. For number eight, limited data and information. Collecting relevant and accurate data from other organizations can be a major challenge, especially since the information may be considered confidential or sensitive. For the next, number 9, organizational culture gap. Differences in organizational culture between the benchmarking organization and the benchmarking partner can hinder the application of identified best practices. For number 10, lack of understanding about benchmarking. Many organizations do not fully understand the concept of benchmarking, leading to misinterpretation or incorrect application. For number 11, ethical and legal barriers. There are ethical and illegal limitations related to collecting data from other organizations, especially if done without permission or in a non-transparent manner. For the last, number 12, cost and time. The benchmarking process can be time-consuming and costly, which can be a burden for organizations with limited resources.
Conclusion. Benchmarking is a systematic method for comparing business performance and practices with leading organizations to improve efficiency, innovation, and competitiveness. Benefits include identifying gaps, accelerating improvements, and strengthening market's position. There are types of benchmarking such as internal, competitive, functional, and generics. And challenge including limited data, difficulty in finding comparison partners, and resistance to change, so the right strategy and organizational supports are needed. Okay, thank you for attention. Sorry if many mistake. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.